Hey y'all, it's been nearly 2 weeks since the death of George Floyd, and I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts and feelings about what's been going on. You know, it was nearly 30 years ago that I was living in Venice. It was the early 90s, and we had just had the LA riots occur, and they stemmed from the horrific police beating of Rodney King. Um, right after the riots had occurred, I was taking a walk on the Venice boardwalk, and there was a man who had a photographic display documenting the police brutality during those riots. So I stopped to talk to him about his work, and one conversation led to two conversations, which led to many conversations, and that led to Solomon and I falling in love. I, a white woman of privilege from Santa Monica, and he, a black man from Compton. You know, two different people couldn't have fallen in love. Solomon, at a really early age, knew his life's mission, and he had a purpose. And his purpose was to fight against injustice. He fought for equality. And this fight started for him, I think, when he was 15 or 16 years old. And for me, you know, I didn't have that same fight because I was ignorant and I didn't understand it. But I'll tell you what, it didn't take long until I got on board. You know, it didn't take long into our relationship that we were pulled over for driving in Santa Monica in a white neighborhood for no reason other than that Solomon was black. So anyways, y'all, so now here we are, and it's nearly 30 years later, and we all witnessed what happened to George Floyd. So one of my goals and part of my work is to talk to you all, everyone that I love and that I care about, and to get you and to hope that you understand what we're fighting for, why we're fighting, and what we can do. You know, y'all, this isn't a black fight. This is a white fight. And this is our opportunity. No, it's our duty. It is our duty to recognize first that there is a problem. And I think we can all agree that there's a systemic problem with policing. I've experienced and witnessed it, and now every single one of you have, when you watched that officer knee on the neck of George Floyd for 8 minutes. You know, black people shouldn't have to worry about encounters with the police. Does that make sense? When the police are paid to protect them? Anyhow, y'all, I'm not going to speak for the black voice because I'm not black, and I shouldn't. It's not my place. But what I can say is that this is our fight. This is the time for every single one of us to stand up and say the treatment of blacks by the police is unacceptable. You know, we all have been privileged by the color of our skin. White privilege. White privilege. Does that make you uncomfortable? White privilege? It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me really uncomfortable. But I'm going to use that discomfort to take action. And I hope all of you take that discomfort, and I hope it moves you to action as well. You know, it's been documented. There's a woman named Peggy McIntosh, and she wrote an essay. She's an American scholar, and she wrote an essay titled White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack. This is some of what she wrote. The societal privilege that benefits white people over non-white people, and particularly if we are all under the same social, political, and economic circumstances. So think about that. You know, me and Jasmine both earn $50,000 a year, and we both go get a loan, and I get a loan and she doesn't. There's only one difference. She's black and I'm white. So white privilege is an individual package of unearned assets. And these include cultural affirmations of one's own worth, presumed greater social status, the freedom to move, buy, work, play, and speak freely. Think about that, y'all. It's just not right. It's not right. You know, my daughter should have the same rights that my son does. One's white and one's black. Y'all, I want to talk to you about Jasmine for a sec, since I just brought that up. You know, Jasmine will be the first to acknowledge that she benefits from white privilege. But what we have to understand is that I just explained to you who her father was. And, you know, George Floyd is Solomon. So Solomon fought every single day of his life for others and for himself for equal rights. So Jasmine is seeing her dad being killed by the black policeman. I'm sorry. Jasmine is seeing her father being killed by the police over and over and over again. You know, for her, this is her father. For her, every single day, she worried about him. She worried what would happen to him. And to some extent, I failed to recognize that. So now, y'all, to action. Today, I am asking you to make a difference. I'm asking you, as I'm going to do, to step out of your comfort zone. I'm asking you to realize and acknowledge we have a serious problem. I'm asking you to talk to your friends, your family, your coworkers, to anyone that will listen, to share this video. You know, I'm asking you all to vote, and to vote in local elections, not just presidential elections. Now is the time for us to be courageous, and it's the time for us to speak out. So also included in the email with this video will be an email script and also a phone script for you to use to talk to your representatives, and a link for you to submit your letters to your congressman and to our representatives. So y'all, now is the time. Please stand with me and stand with everyone else that cares about human life and make a difference.